Hey everybody, how's it going? So today we're going to be fixing yet another MacBook while Paul eats his lunch. Paul times himself so he always starts his lunch as I start my stream. He also times it so his lunch begins right when his Seeky television turns off because that TV stays on for precisely 4 hours before turning off, regardless of whether it has an input.
It really works.
That television is not following us to the new place. 30 hertz?
I love that TV.
You want to keep this?
I love that TV.
It's
That's
30
good
hertz.
TV. So?
There's a 500 millisecond input lag.
It's less hertz. You always
Oh
need
my
less
God.
hertz anymore.
Mike, thank you. Check your email about your Verizon bill. I responded to you earlier today. Let's see. Have you responded to my response? Let me not be an architect and ignore you. Let's see. This is junk mail. That's junk. That's junk. That's junk. Maybe I'll have to look at that later. That's going to take a while. That's junk. That's junk. That's junk. Your dailies. That's junk. Okay, that is important, but can't read that till later. That's junk. 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 That is junk. 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 That is... Okay, so I don't see anything since... Yeah, you emailed me this morning at 7:13. I replied, and I don't see anything new since. Yeah, I'm breaking my rule, which is not to check my email during stream. But yeah, I did email you back. Thank you very much. I also forwarded your email to Hannah, Steve, and Paul, so that because I'm going to be busy and I'm not going to be able to get to it, hopefully one of them is able to figure out what to do there. So if yeah, Verizon DSL has been billing me for the entire year. I thought that I'd stop getting billed after I called them and waited on hold for an hour and spoke to several people because, you know, once you're not able to provide service to the building as a result of it going on fire and the wiring being completely destroyed, I would imagine that I'm no longer paying a bill. So I got this little T-Mobile LTE hotspot. And the thing is, I don't even know. It's so ridiculously hard to go through this because I have a Verizon personal phone, Verizon home, and then I have Verizon DSL for business, and it's convoluted, like logging into the back end of all these different accounts. But I do believe that I wasn't being billed for some time. I think I got and then I started getting billed again, even though I'm not using it. Anyway, but let me just resend my reply to you. But yeah, if you could figure out what the hell, I've used no DSL from last year to now. You can see that modems, it was plugged in with a little blinking light for October and November and a little bit of December, but obviously it wasn't working. And then after that, we just unplugged it because it's wasting space on the shelf. Did I send it? It's not showing up in my sent over here. Oh, I know what I did. I sent it from my phone and I had the VPN on because I was trying to view a website in another country that only allows you to view the website if you have an IP from that country. And for some reason, my mobile phone email app does not send emails when the VPN is on. That's stupid. Okay, now I see what happened. So folders, outbox. Yeah, okay. Send, fucker, send. So, come on, mofo, send. Go, outbox, go. Go, outbox. Yeah, there's actually 5 emails in my outbox that need to get out of here. Come on, outbox. Select all. Is there a resend button in K9 Mail? Do we have a resend button? Hopefully this has been sent. Okay, I need to figure out if there's a resend button so that stuff in the outbox actually gets sent. I don't know how K9 email works. Will you automatically retry? Do I have to hit a button? Come on. Look in the sent folder on K9. Now, sent is stuff I sent. Outbox is stuff that's waiting to be sent that has not been sent yet. If it was in the sent, then it would be sent and he would have it. This is an outbox. I keep forgetting that. I don't know why it does this, but when I have the VPN on so I could look at stuff outside the country, my sent mail in K9 doesn't get sent. It drives me nuts. Don't you get bored doing the same thing over and over again? It's just about... Isn't that a question for just about any job? Folders, settings... Yeah, this stuff is not leaving my outbox. God damn it. Come on. Now I have to fucking Google how to do this shit. K9 mail, how resend mail stuck in outbox. Once you have to Google to figure it out, like, the interface of the software has failed. Once you have to email something this basic... Yeah, I'm not solving this. Every thread on this is from 2012 or 2009. RIP. If you select the outbox folder, one of the menus will be send messages. Okay, select the outbox folder. No, we have check mail, clear local messages, and folder settings. So that doesn't do it. Shit. This is probably for some 8-year-old version of the damn program. Check mail. What if I do check mail? No. Folder settings. What about this? Folder poll class. I don't know what poll classing is. Folder push class. Show in top group. Mother flower. Okay, this thread is useless. Next. Why can't I pay in your store with PayPal? Because PayPal is trash, and fuck PayPal. Fuck PayPal in their ass for how they've tried to screw over small businesses. I have several videos on PayPal. They're short. Some of them are 2 minutes, some of them are 6 minutes. But you could see there. Yeah, fuck PayPal. They try to fuck over businesses. They don't deserve a dime. Say you have a large email to send the out. Correct it as correct halfway through. The recipient's ISP stops the message being too large. K9 gets the message and not send. Okay, so I think I just have to resend these manually. Time for a new email app. I set K9. Send immediately when connected option. I set the outbox as a first class folder and the rest of them is none. Then I set auto polling to first class folders only. However, I still have to set polling intervals and allow K... Oh, fuck this. I'm done with K9. Holy hell. Just have a fucking resend button. Jesus Christ. Folder settings. Folder poll class. First class. Well, you're going to get an email at some point. Long story short, why the fuck am I still getting charged by Verizon for shit that I haven't had for a year? Folder notification class, first class. Folder push class, first class. Come on, mother flower. Send my shit. Let's see. Global settings. I don't know. Fuck K9 mail. I'll just restart my phone. I don't have time for this shit. I gotta fix a MacBook. Legit, fuck K9 mail. Never again. It used to be good software. Not turning on. Let's get to the boards already. But I have to reply to the email. Alright, so let's take a look. Here we have an A1398. It says not turning on. Hello, happy holidays. I'm part of the IT department in a small company in the Chicagoland area. The user reported that the machine stops working after the mistake of using a knockoff charger. I'm not sure if that's the case. So let's see if that is the problem. Let's open this thing up and see if we can get it working again. What about Thunderbolt, says Mercea? Oh, Thunderbird. I actually use it because I've been too lazy to learn how to use different software and get used to it. The junk filter on Thunderbird is the most useless shit in the world because it makes you think it actually does something. There are addresses and email that I've been unmarking as junk since 2012. It's 2019 and Thunderbird still hasn't gotten the idea yet that maybe if I keep hitting the not junk, not junk, not junk, that it's not junk. There's no learning to that. I don't know how Thunderbird classifies junk, how it tries to figure out what is and what is not junk, but it is total garbage. I like the way the app looks. It's the way it's set up is much nicer than a lot of the other apps for me. At least just because I'm used to the lack of fanciness. But I can't. But the junk filtering stuff in Thunderbird is so pathetic. I would rather just have it turned off entirely. I actually think I know who's who. I don't want to create filters for everything, Greg. It's supposed to learn. It's 2019. They make you think that it's learning as it's going. No, it's not. Okay. I restarted my phone and the emails are still stuck in my outbox. This is hysterical. Canine mail is such a sack of shit. You know what? I'm just going to give up and do this the lame way and just forward this to the guy. Just send a new one. Just going to go full boomer on it. Okay, now that I decided to forward one, now all the emails left my outbox. That's interesting. Well then. Okay, back to this. So this person said that they may have used the knockoff charger and now the machine is dead. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to unplug the battery. This is one of those batteries that really doesn't want to come out, so we're going to use a special pry tool. Bam. Battery removed. Now we're going to get the good old-fashioned Paul Daniels software on the screen, as well as the power supply software so that I could see how many amps this MacBook is taking. Make it work again. Look at that lag between the power supply software that instantly turns on and the Paul Daniels software that boots up like a Hitachi 4200 RPM drive from 2004. Alright, we're going to turn on the power supply. What does this take? 22 milliamps, 23 milliamps, 24 milliamps. This doesn't appear to be knockoff charger damage to me. Is PP Bus present? PP Bus G3 Hot is 4.06 volts. That's the main rail that is created by the charger to charge the battery. So perhaps this is a knockoff charger. So we're going to take a look at the charging circuit on this. We're getting 4 volts on PP Bus, which may mean that this actually is just issued from a knockoff charger. The little piece of... Whoa, I've never seen this before. You know the little piece of foam that covers the screw right next to the LCD connector on the A1398? The foam is ripped and cut into 2 pieces. That's... how the hell does that happen? That's absolute savagery. Someone predicted that this board will have a dead GPU. You are an asshole. A pox on you and your family. You save this?
Yes.
Why?
I ordered new.
You ordered new of it? That's crazy. That is optional. It is a nice little thing to have there. But I'm not quite sure what it does. I guess they're triggered by the idea of the screws sticking up like that.
Always keep your tip covered.
Do you wear gloves so that we won't find out that you're a hand model? I actually found my patent application from 2009 on that drive that Steve recovered for me, and my friend was actually being a hand model for me for my idea. But no, I'm not a hand model. I had to outsource hand modeling back then. She wrote the patent application for me for $100. It included services as a hand model. I need a battery connector to solder on. MacBook early 2016. You haven't given me enough info there. You mean 12-inch MacBook? Do you mean MacBook Pro? MacBook Air? Not enough info to tell you, I'm afraid. But I don't have any the battery connector for any of those. We just take it off of donor boards. Keep you. Oreo the cat. He's hard at work right now. We have to get a kitty cam.
So hard to work.
We haven't had any mice, so I imagine that Oreo is hard at work when we're not looking. He is making his nightly rounds. I looked in the security camera footage just to make sure that he's doing his nightly rounds. Because if he's not, he's getting kicked the fuck out of here. Hard at work making sure the heated bed is being held down. Thank you very much for that heated bed, JP. Oreo really loves it. Oreo is very happy with his heated bed. He sits, and he sits, mostly sits. He gets love and attention from Paul.
How many %?
2%, 19 volts.
How'd you fix it?
No, it's probably just uncharged, but it doesn't turn on.
What it was, the flickering.
Oh, okay.
Backlight filter.
Is that a... Oh, it's a Samsung tablet?
Samsung tablet. I don't know how to turn it on.
On 165.
Does it have an on button?
It has these buttons.
Oh, it
and
has
they
a
have
power
these
button.
buttons as well.
He does, Stockholms. My damn it. Mice are as blind as they say, so mostly if Oreo is still, the mouse will happen upon Oreo and boom, dead mouse. I didn't know that. Are mice really close to blind? Are mice really incapable of seeing little Oreo? I can see what's wrong with this board already. Can you? These little bags are so aggravating. We got bags for all the screws from the machines, but we made sure to buy the tiniest little bags there are. Look at that. Look at this. Look at this.
Well, getting a bigger bag's too expensive.
I like bigger bag. How does the... Where do I put the...
In the bigger bag, in the bag with the Ziploc.
That's not what's in the box.
Why do you have these small baggies here?
This is pure trollery.
Steal from Paul.
Hey,
That's what I usually do is steal from Paul.
Human being. Grab one from Paul. Here.
I can't do that. We don't do that anymore.
We don't? No, but bags are coming good. No, that's gonna fall out. Come on.
Why does Paul get nice bags and I get crappy ones?
yeah, figure out why this doesn't
Paul
turn
fights for his stuff. Yeah. What's up?
on. Figure out why this doesn't turn on.
It's an iPad.
No.
Samsung. Get some.
It tells me it gives me battery indication. It just never changes.
No backlight? I mean, wait for what's his face to take it off.
I don't know which one's the power button. This
This is gonna be a power button here. This is gonna be some utility Dixie button. And this is
All right.
gonna be volume.
Let's take a look at the schematic in the board view for this board. This is an 820-00138, which we don't have a schematic for, so I'll look at a schematic for a similar board.
Check this online, which was the power button, right? It's also not charging the battery either.
it would also tell you what fucking model it is.
You left out a screw there. If I left out a screw, then how is it the board is out of the casing? Explain that, smartass. How is this board out of the casing if I left a screw in there? Exactly. Exactly. YouTube people.
A .36? That's not a...
Oh, you're talking about this screw.
That's
Meh.
7 watts.
This screw.
Did you just
This.
go like 27, 20 volts?
How do I put something?
That was probably a screw to another machine. All right, let's open up a schematic for this. What would be close? 820-00163.
Okay, so now it's charging. So you must have turned it on. Okay. You probably just no image. Is it data recovery or? It's yours?
This has image. Because it gives me the battery icon.
Oh. Maybe that battery.
All right. So now we're going to take a look at the charging circuitry, which is U7100. Where'd you find that?
Just in one of the slots where you keep screens, just a bunch of garbage screens. I thought this was a book because it came in this.
Oh.
When I opened it, just shot out of it. 'Cause it was a,
Wait,
it
wait.
looked like that. Like you just see the fucking.
Alright.
Can you mute for 1 second?
One moment. You find my... 1 second. I don't have this clipped to my belt because I don't have a belt today.
Fine, because it's
All right. 1 sec. I just figured out I'm muted, but I have a meeting. Be right back.
Frame out your wall. That plexiglass downstairs, you're gonna have approximately a 3x6 window.
Okay.
That's what you wanted, right?
Yeah.
Then you're gonna have a 48-inch door on this side, and you have
We're gonna have the double doors here, right?
yeah,
That's
double
what-
doors, two 24s on
Okay.
this side, total of 48, and then you got a 3-foot opening on this side behind. Would be behind the counter. It's coming out. Your floor's
Nice.
all,
Yeah, it's
floor's
looking
all
good,
done and
actually.
level.
So, what's the first thing you want to start off with? The basement. The
Oh, you want to do
step
some
to the
stuff in the
basement.
basement?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, well, the step to the basement. They want it so that the door swings out completely, and that there isn't like a giant step that you have to.
Oh, if you see the way it is now, it's about even with the remaining
Have you
tread.
seen it?
Yeah, it's already it's completed. Well,
Okay.
it wasn't completed before today, so you don't know what it
Yeah.
looks like unless you've been here.
I mean, we
in
were
the
we
last
were
hour.
looking to actually go there, like right now together.
Yeah.
You want to go for it? Yeah, let's go.
We'll
Jump,
take a look.
jump in the cab. Are you driving?
Yeah, I'm driving. I
Okay.
get people outside.
All right. So you go back with them, and we'll jump in the cab. We'll go. You don't have to come. Paul and I can go.
Okay, here you go.
Paul
Couple
didn't
minutes.
go. Yeah, he's limb finishing. Any other concerns in the meantime?
That's it. Only you got the check for the next.
Yeah. No, we got. Don't worry about it.
You're gonna bring it with you, right?
So there's
I don't have
that,
to come
and then
back, right?
your room was. I'm gonna talk to him when we
Yeah.
get there.
The
And-
partition wall too, you're gonna put those slots like that to pass through?
Yeah,
on
the
the bottom?
slots, the slots, the
Yeah.
pass throughs, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, you should show him the picture.
What
you
we'll
showed
do,
me.
yeah, what we'll do is when you come there and you look at the wall, you'll tell me exactly where. You'll get a feel for it now, and you'll say, I want them right here.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's electric. Works pretty well.
Electric.
Your back room's gonna need something
Yes.
because
Yeah.
there's no
We'll
heat.
put something like this.
But if they put a heat pump on that Mitsubishi Mr. Slim, you might be able to use that for you.
That's
That-
what we were talking
In the back
about.
room, that
Yeah.
is a heat
Back
pump.
room. I don't think it is. I
It
tried
is.
switching it on today.
I
Did you
tried
actually-
It takes 10
Yeah,
minutes to
it's gonna wait
start.
a little bit,
Oh,
but yeah.
Okay.
It takes me less time to get to the store from Brooklyn than it does for that to turn on.
So it's
I'm gonna have to get an Arduino on my bike to turn it on.
It's not the most
It's fucking useless.
It's
It's
not
useless.
that
What if
long.
it's freezing? I mean, this works in like literally 30 seconds.
Yeah,
The whole thing is warm.
Then you
It's
just
got
leave it
run
on.
power back there for that. That's all.
Somebody has to show up before I do.
65 degrees and there you go.
You have to tell
Right there, that's on. What is it on right now? That's on.
6 kilowatt.
40 volt, 60, or, yeah.
We're using the outlet that used to be for this machine over here for that. So
That's a lot of current.
yeah, it's a waste.
All right. So we'll meet you back at the other spot.
Yeah, so we'll meet you back at the space. I'll get the check ready and all that. And yeah, I'll see you. How long is it gonna take you to head straight there, or you're gonna make a stop?
Steve is gonna bargain the fuck out of this dude. He wants us to try to get him to paint, do the insulation in the office for as cheap as possible, rev up the floor for that, but mainly the painting. Like I know Steve is a bargainer. This guy is gonna be he's gonna be tearing his fucking hair out after dealing with Steve in a room for half an hour. You'll see. But just play. I want you two play off each other and also talk about this while you're in the car as to what it is you're gonna be doing. Yeah, I would not want to be a contractor for Steve, but it'll be. But remember, Steve knows jack shit about construction, so that's what you're there for. And you know jack shit about being civil, so that's what he's there for. So like together, you make a person. All right. Okay. He's not answering me. I don't answer my phone when I'm streaming, Erica. I purposely ignore it. As much as I ignore people that say, Lois, did you check your email yet? I ignore it all. I ignore it all. All right. So where were we before this? So we were discussing the current sensing circuit. So let's just go back and do that fresh. So let's go to PDF. So this circuit is going to be what is going to create 12 volts for the main power rail on the machine. So this is going to take 18 volts from up here, and it's going to send it here and make 12. Now, how does it do that? Well, this is a switching power supply. This switching power supply is going to allow the 18 volts through only sometimes. So how do we get from 18 volts to 12? Many people know what a switching power supply is, but they don't know exactly how it works. So what this is going to do is it's going to open up, and it's going to allow that 18 volts from the charger up here through, and it's going to allow 18 through, then 0. 18, 18, 0, 18, 18, 0, 18, 18, 0, 18, 18, 0, really, really fast. So it's going to, and in those little time increments, and that's going to average out to something around 12. Well, obviously being a little crude in my description here, but that's the way it works. So this chip is going to say, transistors, open, 18. Open again, 18. Close, nothing. And it's going to continue in that pattern to give you 12. This thing here is going to open to allow charger power to the machine, and this also keeps battery from going back up here. And you don't want to allow the battery to charge the charger. You don't want to have some sort of. You ever buy one of those pieces of shit from China where when you keep, if you have the battery on the charger, it charges, but if you unplug the charger from the wall, you can still see that the battery is trying to charge the charger. That's because they don't have something like this here. That's what this does. What this transistor up here is going to do is it's going to keep the battery from trying to charge the charger. So if you have the charger plugged into the machine but it's not plugged into the wall, you don't want the battery to try to charge your charger. So that's what this thing does over here. Now, this is called a current sensing circuit over here. So let's try to zoom in. Let's see how much Paul Daniels' software would allow me to zoom. That's about it. Thank you, Paul Daniels. Now, what this does over here, this is called the current sensing circuit. So imagine that I'm looking at water flow through a stream. I want to know how fast is the water flowing through the stream. I can guess based on what I hear, how much noise is it making, or what I see in the water. But for the most part, I can't really tell if there's nothing in the water and it's not making any noise, how fast or how powerful is the water flowing through the stream. I would have to put my hand in the stream in order to tell. Now, the ISL 6259 chip over here that's controlling this buck converter, it is not in the stream. It is just controlling a transistor that is in the stream. It's controlling a transistor in the stream. It's connected to a resistor in the stream. This would be like having your hands in the stream. Now, this resistor is going to have a voltage drop from here to here. It's going to be a really, really small voltage drop, but it's a voltage drop nonetheless. And that voltage drop is going to be proportional to how much current the system is using. So if the system is using 40 milliamps, there's going to be virtually no voltage drop across the resistor. If the system is using 5 amps or 8 amps or 12 amps or 16 amps, then there's going to be a huge voltage drop across the resistor. Now, the way that this chip, U7100, is going to tell how much current the system is using, it's going to measure the current. It's going to measure the voltage at the top of the resistor, measure it at the bottom of the resistor, and then figure out what the difference is. And if the difference is larger, it's going to know the system's using more current. If the difference is smaller, it thinks it's using less current. So R7121 goes from the top of the resistor to the chip, charger CSIP, and R7122 sits between the bottom of the resistor and charger CSI N. And it's going to be able to see what's going on here. Now, what I want to do, a quick way to measure a current sensing circuit here, is what many people will do is they'll measure this resistor and this resistor and this resistor and this trace and that trace and that trace and that trace, and that's a lot of measurements to figure it out. What I like to do is I like to simply add up the resistances of everything in the circuit. You have 10 ohms, 0.02 ohms, 10 ohms. So that's 10.02 ohms. I would zoom in a little more so that you could see it, but Paul Daniels' software does not allow you to zoom past a certain point. I guess you have to pay for the premium version for that shit. This is only the $79 version of the Paul Daniels software. Recently, he released a $149 version of it. You probably got to pay for like the $300 premium package, limited edition or some shit to be able to zoom more. But, pldaniels.com. So let's see what we get on R71, between pins 27 and 28 of the ISL 6259. So that's going to be over here. Take a cab over there with them and go over everything that they did with a fine-tooth comb. Be the inspector. Remember what you were like that day that you showed up at the Avenue C and 12th Street store? Why is this there? Why is this there? Why is this like that? Is this the right material? And what you said about Sonny using clapboard shit when he was supposed to use good stuff? Inspector, Paul. Inspector. With full confidence. Whatever you say, I'm behind you. Inspector. Oh, also, while you're there.
fix it and it didn't work?
Record?
Huh?
Record?
Record.
Look around. Let people get a tour of what it looks like. Maybe. Much GoPro.
How power off?
You have to press the right button and count for 5 seconds. Paul's ready. R-E-D-D-Y, as they would say. I just ate, Devin, yes. Okay, let me see. I missed a bunch of chat here, so let me read some of it. I don't think he cares that mic is on, correct? I do not. Sire was AFK. Yes, I know. Lewis, your mic is on. I'm fully aware. Let's see. Your mic was on. You're being a viewer, Pink Sinner. Ring ring. Now you're being a customer. Next. Transistors closed to pass current. Fuck that. Open like a door. You close the contacts in a relay to pass current. God damn it, I say it aluminum instead of aluminium. I spell color without a U, and you open the transistor to pass current, not close it. Pull your hair out, motherfucker. America. All right, next. What do we have here? Oreo is hiding under the desk. Can you do a YouTube video about your bike? No. If I do a YouTube video on my bike, everybody will go, why did you do it that way? Oh my God, it's not perfect. It's not perfect. How dare you make something not perfect? Why'd you make something not perfect? Oh my God, this guy is such a moron. My bike is my hobby. My bike is not my profession. So I put it together the way a hobbyist would at 1 or 2 in the morning when he has no time. So if I put that on YouTube with an actual viewership, they are going to like nitpick at every little thing. And this is the thing that people do on YouTube, is they look at what you do under a fine-tooth comb, and if anything could have been done even a tiny bit better, I can't believe you're so stupid. Look at that. And it makes them feel better about the fact that they live in their parents' basement at the age of 40. And I'm not giving people that I'm not giving people the satisfaction. All right. So back to this. Okay. Now, what's something that you notice up here? There should be something clearly noticeable up here. How is the new place coming along? We'll see. Steve and Paul are headed over now. Steve is going to be drive that contractor insane. This is what he does for a living. What do you all see? Everybody wave to Northside Service Company. I haven't seen him here in a while. A nice hello to Northside Service. Bad solder joint on left cap. Nope. All right. I'll zoom in. Something that you're unable to do on Paul Daniels' software. This is something that you may have to pay a premium for to do in the Paul Daniels software, but I'm going to offer you that on my stream at no additional charge. Zoom. Look at that. What do we see here? Besides the fact that my microscope light is being silly. There we go. Yeah, come on, give me the rest. There we go. All right, properly lit. What do you see? My resistors have eyes and they're staring back at me. All right, so let's... Now, if we were to measure the resistance of these between these 2 points, how did Kevin's STD test turn out? I don't think he ever got one.
So that's what he gets to do.
The test. Yeah, we got 7.31 kilo ohms. So if we check this resistor over here, open line. This resistor over here, open line. So that means that those resistors are totally destroyed, and any measurement I'm getting here is actually going to be what you see for between this cap. So what I'm really measuring is that capacitor that is between the two resistors. C7120 is between the two resistors, and that's what we're actually measuring here. Now let's get those resistors bulldozed off the board and replace them with some nice new fancy resistors. My flux is gone. What the? How the? Where the?
Did you run out?
What the? Where's my flux? How's my data recovery coming along? That is. Last successful read was 0 seconds ago. That's good. I hope Steve drives that contractor insane.
What happened?
He's gonna bargain.
The contractor?
Yeah.
Why?
What?
Why?
Why what?
Why is he gonna bargain?
No, Steve's gonna bargain.
About what?
Painting, insulation and office floor, other stuff.
Hello. How can I help?
I am in my book.
Okay.
I can take it.
Okay.
I took this from you. I'm sorry.
Is that my tweezers?
That's your
My good tweezers?
used to be good tweezers.
What?
I'm in trouble. Okay. Also, one thing I like to do here is anytime the current sense resistors have been destroyed, typically the ISL 6259 will also be destroyed. So I'm just going to replace it all. Is there likely a reason those resistors blew? Yes, in the beginning of the stream. In the beginning of the stream, there was, what was I saying? Oh, in the beginning of the stream, they used the knockoff charger. Someone said Hannah should have gone. Good idea. I will arrange that once this ISL 6259 is lifted off the board. Once she's out of the restroom, we'll go over that. Hannah, can you do me a very large favor? Can you take a cab to the new place since I don't know if they're picking out, looking at materials for counter and all that stuff yet?
Mm-hmm.
Cab?
You want me to go?
Yeah.
Right now?
Ideally, I would have
Okay.
said go with Paul and Steve, but I didn't think of it until now. And at least then you can get like a look at what everything looks like in person and ideas, and since you haven't seen it yet.
Okay.
Also, let me give you my key just in case they locked it.
Just
Huh? Well, Paul and Steve are there.
Okay.
I trust you to be able to take a cat. Well, Oreo just came out as you said that, so you can take Oreo with you if you'd like. Let me give you my key.
Okie dokie.
Because you haven't seen the place yet. So I think is Erica's idea that you go with is not a bad one.
Is there there?
No.
Okay.
Eric. Eric is busy cheating at playing Super Mario World. Yes, that's the game that she
Yeah,
plays.
which one?
Okay. Well, the left one, the round one is for the gate. The jagged one is for the door. 141 West 27th. Thank you. All right, that's settled. And back to this. Don't cheap out on chargers, someone says. Yeah, I don't sell knockoff chargers, and I usually just tell people to go to Best Buy and buy the Apple charger there.
Why don't we stock Apple chargers?
Hmm?
Why don't we stock Apple chargers?
I can't buy Apple chargers for a wholesale price. So I would have to buy it from Best Buy to sell it here. And then people already lose their mind when they go, I can't believe you're selling we were able to get the original ones for a while for $45, and we were selling it for like $60. People go, I can't believe it's $60 for a charger on Amazon at 17. So at some point I just gave up and said, fuck that, I'm not selling these anymore. So now, rather than sell chargers, I'll tell people, I suggest the OEM one. Here's where you can buy the OEM one. And then when they don't buy the OEM one because they don't believe me, they can come here and pay $325 for me to replace these two resistors. But I used to sell that, and I used to also sell these StarTech lightning cables. They were really good. I was selling the cable for, I think, $10 or $11 and the little charging brick for $3 or $4. This was an amazing, amazing quality charging cable. I believe that they would actually accept returns if you destroyed the cable, which is almost impossible to do. You know, if I ever get caught for buying ISL 9240s, Tim Cook would be able to hang me in front of his headquarters from a StarTech charging cable, and it would still work. Those things are just made to last. And people never bought them. They would buy the ones that wind up destroying TriStar, the shitty brick and the shitty cable, at the store one block down because it was $5 cheaper. And then they show up here for data recovery. And it's just like, this is something that I learned when I started to get older, which is I'm not going to argue with the way the world is. I'm just going to figure out a way to position myself to benefit from it. You know, why am I going... I remember having... in 2012, I used to have this little thing in the front of the store. It was a demonstration. This is what the TriStar circuit looked like on the new iPhone 5. Because the iPhone 5 was the first one to have a charging circuit at the end of 2012. This is what the TriStar circuit looks like. This is what is going to get destroyed if you use the shitty charger. Here's a bunch of pictures of shitty charge cords for the iPhone 4. That piece of shit from Apple always broke. Here's what the good, nice StarTech one looks like. That never breaks. It's just a few dollars more. Feel the material. Nobody bought it. Oh, you're a ripoff. You're a ripoff. You're a ripoff. Okay, cool. You know what? I'm not going to argue with you. I'm going to smile and say, oh, yeah, you can buy I suggest the OEM one at Best Buy. This other one may kill your phone. It's right down the block. It's just $5. But go for it. You know, give it a try. I'll be here. Data recovery on iPhones ranges from $300 to $650. Motherboard repair is $200 to $425. We are open and happy to take your business. We are open and happy to take your business. I agree with you that $15 or $79 for the charger, or no, it was $60 I was selling the MacBook chargers for. That $60 is a fucking ripoff. I agree with you. We're a damn good deal on board repair. So, I use knockoff chargers as well for things. I just wouldn't use a knockoff charger on an Apple product. Because these things are so finicky. I use a knockoff charger on my Sony camera. I have a Sony A5100 at home. And the DC adapter, the DC battery adapter for that thing costs $87 to $90 plus shipping from Sony. That's just disgusting. Because I paid $250 for the camera used. I think it was $220 or $250, probably $220. Yeah, because I bought it with a broken flash used. it doesn't hold my data, and it's a low-end device. So if I kill it, who cares? But when it comes to something that holds my data, I'm not cheaping out on the power supply. Or if it's a computer that costs $3,000, no. I'll cheap out on my cheap-ass camera. I'm not going to... that I use, you know, for off-the-cuff home videos. Also, it's kind of insulting for Sony because that thing uses... I mean, that thing uses 200 milliamps or something. Like, really? $87? You couldn't get a switching power supply that doesn't ripple for less than $87? That's Sony trying to put the tip in. That's what that is. What is the heat preference on your Quick? It entirely depends on the board. How much distance to the new shop? I gotta look. It's 15 blocks up, 7 blocks west. So 15 north, 7 west. What's that?
Ordered here.
Oh, that's for you.
You know.
Kevin, thank you for your hard work.
That's all you.
That's you now.
That's all you.
That's all you,
I
man.
got that chicken palm in me.
I got that chicken palm in me too, man.
Kevin, enjoy.
For the store?
That's for all of you. Enjoy.
Thank you.
And to say thank you to JP.
Thank you, JP.
Is this getting hot? Are you even plugged in? You're not, are you? Wait, you are plugged in. Source. My station's acting all messed up. I gotta... not auto-sleeping and turning stuff on anymore. And my tip is bent. Strange. Alright, let's just move that into place. I don't know how clear it comes out on the camera, but it's minorly crooked. Just enough to bother me. Everybody say thank you to JP for providing the store with sugar. But yeah, when it comes to selling chargers, I just gave up. Maybe it would be different now because, you know, we're a worldwide name, more people trust us than but I got so tired. Like, how much is this charger? $60. $60, man. Oh. At some point you just get tired of hearing the whining. I did not ask you to purchase a $3,000 computer. You made the decision to purchase an expensive $3,000 computer. Now live with it. Yeah. You cannot buy a charger from 186 First Avenue. You know what you can buy? Current Sense board repair services. Alright, so I'm going to wait for this to cool off just a little bit. Get my donor board, put it on the side. Use my Rapid Cool right here. Rapid Cool that board up. What country the defreeze? There are stores that mainly sell to companies, but God, they are a pain to deal with as a private individual. Oh yeah, you have no idea. I mean, I guess you do, but if you ever tried to deal with a company like Arrow, so a lot of people have said, but Lewis, why can't you get RAM chips? They seem easily available. Oh my God, try to buy something from Arrow. Not an add to cart button in sight. That, you know, purchase orders and mailing checks and faxing sheets back and forth. Anytime a company gives me a fax number to send something to them, I know that that company is operated by people over the age of 60. All right, let's see what we got here. Let's Let's get the meter in a voltage mode so we can measure voltage. And we're going to have the power supply on the screen so we can see how many amps this thing is taking. It was taking 23 to 25 milliamps before. Now when we plug it in, it takes 830. PP bus G3 hot is 12.59 volts, and we get a fan spin. So that's it for today. Our issue is with the current sensing circuit because of a knockoff charger, and when using it with a proper charger, it will work again only after you fix the current sensing circuit that the knockoff charger destroyed. I get it. I understand your aggravation at the fact that the charger is expensive. And I'm not saying that I don't use knockoff chargers in my own products. I will pay $20 to $30 for a DC battery adapter for my Sony a5100 camera. I will not pay $90 for that because I bought that camera on eBay for $220 used with a broken flash, and I only use it for home recordings or as an overhead desk camera. But this is a device that costs $3,000 when you buy it. Since it costs $3,000, that difference between buying a $20 charger and an $80 charger, in my opinion, is negligible. If you're going to spend the money to get this expensive thing, especially something as temperamental as a Mac. Again, remember, we're talking about a computer here that you literally, in 2019, cannot open and close without it dying, that you cannot type on without the keyboard dying. Please, please, get it the charger that's made to work with it. You don't want to send any little ripple voltage to this that it's not expecting, because if you do, it will die, and you will end up here with a $200 to $400 bill for something that you could have avoided if you just spent the money up front. Save the cheap chargers for cheap shit. When it comes to your expensive stuff, spend a little bit extra on a good charger so that this doesn't happen to your MacBook. That's it for today, and as always, I hope you learned something. Thank you so much for watching, and if you have any questions or comments, anything on current sensing circuits and ISL 659 problems, when you have 4 volts on PP bus G3 hot, leave them in the comments down below. See you in the next video. And cut. You go get an Eclair, you fix the MacBook, you deserve one. I don't deserve one. You know, JP, I was down 167 pounds yesterday. Went from 173 to 167. I'm happy with that. All right, I will see you all later. I've got some other stuff to have to do today, and thank you very much for being here for the stream. I have the Patreon-only stream at 11 o'clock tonight. Hoping to get a bunch of stuff done before that. And I will see you in the next stream. Thanks for watching.
This video is brought to you by our sponsors at store.rossmanngroup.com. Thank you for supporting our sponsors that help keep us in business. On store.rossmanngroup.com, you can find chips, supplies, ultrasonics, flux, soldering stations, and more. With 4.9 stars on Shopper approved, same-day shipping from New York City, and free continental shipping over $30, you can't lose. We even offer free support, unless you're a Please Bro, live chat, and are adding new products every day. If you buy today, we'll throw in a special offer that your order will actually go through properly. What are you waiting for? Go to store.rossmangroup.com to get yourself some authentic Amtech flux. Don't delay. Buy today.